Hi, Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 29 of the May Daily Draw. So let's see what message we get today. And I'll be taking the first card from the Druidcraft Tarot, followed by an Oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch, Beltane Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We have the Four of Swords again. It's interesting, isn't it? Maybe there's something else now we need to ponder over. It's interesting because I think when we've dealt with another issue, we've dealt with an issue before when this first came out, when we were told just lay it there, don't try and analyze it too much, just let it connect with it, sit with it, so that whatever issue, idea, plan, or whatever it is, that we gain more understanding of it by just sitting with it and let it wash over us, rather than us trying to solve it with analytical, rational thinking, because that's probably not been getting us anywhere. And I think that particular issue, whatever it was for any of us, maybe we gained some knowledge on that and we acted upon it. And at the time, I said we put some issues aside. We don't deal with those. Those were for later. We just take one issue, lay it across our lap, and sit with it. Well, now it might be time to. Now we've dealt with the first one. Maybe we're going to take one of these issues we put aside for a time. Maybe it isn't a new issue now, a new plan, a new idea. Now we've had the breakthrough with the first one. Maybe there's a new idea now that we can sit with and go through that process again. So maybe now there's the time to repeat the process. Just because we do it once for one issue, for one idea, doesn't mean we can't do it again for another. Once it's worked with one, maybe it'll work with another one. So we take the next issue and do the same thing. And this is how we work through the issues, parts one by one, and sit with them, and then get that moment of inspiration or revelation that we need. The Ace of Swords moment that we had perhaps with the first one, if you remember back, if you watched those. But even if you didn't see those particular draws, videos, it doesn't matter, because maybe now when you're seeing this one, there is a current issue now. Even if you had an issue before that you worked through, and if you're one of those that did that and it worked for you, and you now know a bit better how to go about it. We've had experience with the process. So now maybe we will be able to do it a little bit more easily. Not saying easy, a bit more easier. Sometimes it is easier said than done. But, we can make it easier, if not easy, to go through the process. And because if we've done it once, then we're used to the process, and we understand how it works, and how maybe even we've learned a few lessons from it that how we could perhaps do it even better the next time round. But if you're coming to this new, and where for those of us that didn't see that and didn't have that experience yet, then this is your chance to experience it. And this is to cut down on the overthinking of an issue, of focusing too much on the issue in the sense of trying to solve it, trying to analyze it, trying to be the problem solver. Yes, the problem may need solving. Yes, the issue may need some resolution. Yes, the idea may need to be understood more for its potential to be unlocked and brought into reality. But the more that we actively try and think through the issues, the more our mind becomes muddled and less clear. So what we're doing, we're trying to settle and relax our minds and just sit with the issue. And sometimes when we're not trying, that's when the light bulb moments can occur. See the light here coming out of the end of the sword, almost is like where the clouds are parted a little and the light's coming through. And that's the kind of experience that I think that we can get by bringing it into the light. And that's where we get the illumination and the light bulb moment, I call it, where we suddenly realize the thing we need to realize that will unlock the whole thing for us, or at least enough of it to get started and make some progress. So I think that is what this card is saying, is to those of us that have done it before, you've done it before, how did it turn out? However it turned out, you get another chance to do the same thing. And you may be able to do it even better because maybe you've learned, maybe where you made it still a little bit harder to do, maybe you've now you've understood, maybe you had a bit of difficulty at first in trying to do this process because your mind was still trying to get involved. But it's not necessarily we put, it's like putting our minds in neutral, but not completely. We still want to engage our minds, but it's at a lower gear, so that we can just sort of drift along with it. And that's when we get those light bulb moments of realization. So maybe this is asking us to do this again with the next issue, maybe there's something, that we've knew, or something we put aside for a time, we can now pick up and do this process with. Okay, so let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Boundaries. Maybe, and to be able to do that, maybe you need to put boundaries around yourself, in the sense of set aside the time to do this. Don't let things, mark out this time and put like a ring around it, that nothing's going to encroach upon this important time, because we may think that we haven't got the time to go through this process. We may have tried to rush the process, or rush through it, and we perhaps didn't give it the time that we should have done. We still may have gotten something out of it, but would the quality of that would have been quicker and better if we'd have made it a more quality time that we spent. So maybe that's what we've learned from it. So now we can see the importance of putting a ring around this time of reflection and sitting with the issue and getting ourselves into that frame of mind. So let's mark out some time to do that and put a ring, a boundary that allows nothing to encroach upon it. And let's get it done. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 30. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.